All right. Good afternoon, everybody. This is all the sports fans, all the followers of the Run the Hammer podcast. I really appreciate you following us and just listening to what these great coaches are doing with the programs. And let me apologize again for last night. With our broadcast last night, we just had an issue where he just couldn't get enough bars to be on. So we got to get him out of the country somehow. So, but he's going to be on after this show, and we are going to be rolling along. But tonight we got one of the I would say one of the best up and comers in the state, and that's Marlin Wright from Lower Richland High School. Did I say Marlin Taylor? I don't know what
Yeah,
I was thinking about. Forgive me.
you're right,
And
Coach.
I was thinking about one of our superintendents there for a second, our former superintendents, and he's rushed off the practice field to get here on time and everything. But before we get started, let me give a big shout out to Chris Carter. Just learned today that he was named the head football coach at Orangeburg Wilkinson High School, and that's a big shout out to him. A lot of you remember Chris. He was the guy who turned the Lake Marion program around. Yeah, one game away, from playing in the state in the state championship, and that's a big deal for those people down in Santee, Holly Hill area, where my and that's dear to my heart because that's where my parents grew up at, and I spent a lot of time. So I'm ecstatic. I say ecstatic to see him get back in the game and everything because he's another one of those coaches who gets it done. But now that we got all the intros out of the way, we can go ahead and get going here with Coach Marlin Taylor from Lower Richland High School. Let me see if I can make his picture just a little bit bigger. I
They
tell
might
you
not
what,
want
I'm
to
gonna
see
make
that,
it.
Coach.
Uh,
They might not want to see it no bigger, Coach.
yeah, well, I'm gonna make mine small, and let's see, we can do it like this. Here we go. There you go. All right, Coach Taylor. And
Yes,
if I
sir.
say Coach Right again, you just reach through that screen and just jab slap me. All right.
No.
Uh, we met. I didn't know who you were from Adam's Apple,
Uh-huh.
and we met. I think at one of those.
At the Myrtle
Was
Beach
it
Clinic.
back?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Myrtle Beach
at
Clinic, yeah.
what they were having that college
Yeah,
fair.
that recruitment fair, yes, sir.
Yeah, the recruiting fair, and I didn't know who you were. I just heard about how good a job you were doing down there, and and actually, I didn't think I saw you first. I think I saw one of my homeboys. That's Harry,
Yeah,
and Harry. I think Harry introduced me to you and everything, and
yeah,
we got to sit down talking.
yep.
And what's Harry last name?
Cornell.
Cornell. Because when I coached down Burke, I coached his brother,
Mm-hmm.
and down there when I was at Burke, and we just got to be, just from afar. I followed him, because he was, I think, at one time at Benedict,
Mm-hmm.
and
He coached me at Benedict.
are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Yep. He was our strength coach.
Wow.
He was our strength coach. He was our running back coach one time. He was D-line one time, special team coordinator. He did a little
Yeah,
bit of everything.
yeah. Harry is a gem. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
whoever has Harry in their program, he. If you want an assistant coach, who is locked in and know his role, you need to go down there and visit Harry because
Not right now,
he
though.
is. Yeah, not right now.
Not right now.
Because he is so locked in into what he's done, but you can kind of see where we want to go with this because you know I've always said you can't be the smartest guy in the room, and you got to surround yourself with a lot of great people in order for you to be in order for you to be great. So let me stop yapping and let you go ahead and Coach, start off and telling us a little bit about yourself.
Well, of course, you said my name is Marlin Taylor. From Charleston, South Carolina. For those of you who know a little bit about it, I'm from Wamala Island, South Carolina, a little small island there, just adjacent to Johns Island and James Island and Keywa and all that, kind of down in that area. Played high school ball here at St. John's High School for Coach Robert Biggerstaff. He is in the South Carolina Hall of Fame. When he retired, he was the second winningest coach in the state at that time. Just recently passed about 3 or 4 months ago. So got here and got play ball there. Had a pretty good career there. I was only able to play 1 year there because I moved in. My dad was in the military, and Wamala was his home, so we moved back home after he retired from military. So got to play there. Got a chance to play in the Shrine Bowl here in South Carolina, and after that, I had a chance to go to Benedict College. Went a little later in life. Kind of took the long road. Didn't take my academics too seriously at first, so I had to take the long road. Ended up at Benedict College, and I'll tell you, Coach, that was probably what saved my life. Getting a chance to play. Coach Felder never gave up on me. So he got me up there, and him and Charlie Brown, Coach Charlie Brown, he got me up there and got me started. Got out with a degree in community recreation in 2006, and got into coaching over at W.J. Keenan in 2007 as they were transitioning to the new building. They was leaving out of the old building, going over to the new building over here, and they was going to transition from DeMond Logan to Mitchell Moulton. And Mitch Moulton gave me a chance to get my first head coaching job in 2007. Somebody I will always be indebted to. Always try to pay homage to him and thank him for that opportunity that he gave me, because he didn't have to do that. He took a chance on a 24-year-old kid that didn't know much about coaching, just know something I always wanted to do. He taught me how to coach. He taught me how to build relationships with people, and that's the most important thing, in this profession. From there, about 2014, 15 maybe, I got a chance to go over to Ridgeview, be the offensive line coach over there. Started under Raymond Jennings. Coach Jennings is a phenomenal person, man. I think the biggest thing I learned from him was just organization. He has to be the most meticulous person I've ever seen in my life. Coach Jennings has everything detailed from top to bottom. Then he transitioned from here and they went to Perry Parks. That worked with Perry for about 2 or 3 years. Perry just showed me, man, just again, relationships matter, and how to just energize a program. Everybody knows Perry. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He'll go all day long. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I did about 3 years at Ridgeview, and then I was able to move over to Dutch Fort in 2015, 16. I was blessed to stay there with Coach Knox for 4 years. We won 4 state championships in a row, and until this year, they were still the only 5A classification champions since they brought 5A back. And if you know anything about Coach Knox, you're gonna work, you're gonna learn football. That's when I really learned football. Mm-hmm. The X's and O's of it. I thought I knew this, I thought I knew that, but when I'm working with Coach Knox, showed me a whole different ball game of what football is. But then I got blessed to be there for 4 years. Had some good players there. So like I said, we got on that run, winning those championships. And then in the middle of COVID, 2020, my phone rang one day in my garage. And it was Coach Liz Steele here, athletic director, saying, "Hey, are you interested in interviewing for the Lower Richland job? I got your resume here and I would like to talk to you." And I had no idea this job was even open. I thought Coach Barr was here. I think I just saw Coach Barr maybe 2 or 3 weeks before that. Mm-hmm. So I had no idea this job was even open. And I was like, well, I was like, okay, I interview. Wasn't really expecting much. Just I kind of wanted some other interviews before that, and I kind of kept getting those. You don't have any experience, you never did this, never did that kind of deal. And so I was just like, well, all right, she called me, so I interviewed. And I interviewed, and lo and behold, they gave me a shot. Mm-hmm. In 2020, started that year. That's my first year here, and kids here were phenomenal, man. They took to us real quick. Just hated that it had to happen in that COVID year. We looked up that summer, probably like many other people. We was on 8 different practice fields trying to practice a team sport.
Yeah.
So we ended up going 2-5 that year. And then coming in last year, thought expectations should have been a little higher for us going into that year. We finished up 8-2. Thought we should have finished a little bit deeper than that, but it's still a learning process. So we're thankful for the progress that we're making. I'm going into year 3, so we're looking to see what this year is going to bring for us.
Now you were under Tommy, and all these years I never met Tommy. No, so I know a lot about him from Charlotte and everything. Mm-hmm. I followed his program. Well, what was the one thing that you, and when I was looking at your bio, which was short, so I'm asking you a bunch of questions. Mm-hmm. What was one thing that you got from that program? Now, for all my people out here, this is a guy that has 4 rings. Okay, you don't just happen up on 4 rings. You really got to be doing something good and special, and I don't think he was a hang around. Guys hang around, get a ring and everything.
No,
because Tommy wouldn't allow that.
But, no.
But
no sandwich eaters.
Yeah, you're talking about a guy who, I'm talking about Marlin right now, who knows how to win. What did you bring from that culture over to Lower Richland? I know you can't bring the whole thing, but what did you bring to fit into your culture at Lower Richland?
I think the biggest piece that I brought with me is, besides X's and those stuff that I learned from, I think accountability. You got to hold everybody accountable. You can't have a successful program and not hold people accountable. Everybody has a job to do. One of the sayings that he always uses: "Do your job and do your job well." And that's kind of philosophy we try to take here. And I'm trying to import not only into my coaches but into my players. And other people that are going to be around this program. Coach Knox coached everybody from the star player to the least talented player to the water girls. Everybody was held accountable. Everybody was expected to do their job, whatever your job was, that you expected to do your job. And that's what I'm trying to bring here, holding people accountable and doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. We had a conversation the other day with the kids about, being where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, and again, that goes back to accountability. If I can't trust what you say to me, or you can't trust what I say to you, I don't see how a program will prosper. I don't see how a relationship will prosper. And that's the biggest piece of this whole thing is the relationship. So you have to have that accountability piece. That's the biggest piece I think I brought with me, other than some X's and O's stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, how did you, during the COVID period, how did you start building that relationship with the kids?
It was different. Mm-hmm. When you're sitting home and you're thinking and you're saying, well, I get my first job, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this like this way. And then you get your first job and it's in the middle of a pandemic. And it's like, I can't do this way. I can't do this that way. Mm-hmm. Because this group of kids over here and this group of kids over here, this set of kids is over here, so, that was hard. But I think we built that relationship, again, just by being ourselves as coaches. I know I have a tremendous group of coaches here at Lower Richland, and a lot of them are volunteers. We're sitting on the staff right now. Looked up today, was ordering some stuff. We have 19 coaches. My AD said we never had that many coaches here, So I think, building relationships with these kids, again, doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. If you do this, this is going to be your consequence, and I have to mean what I say. Mm-hmm. And I think they started to buy into that and believe in that. And I think once they saw that, hey, he's hard on us, he's tough on us, but at the end of the day, he got our back. Mm-hmm. I think that was the biggest piece of that. Because I'll tell you, Coach, I'm going to cut you off, but
no problem. Your show.
When we started, we don't have weightlifting class here yet. excuse me, and so we was lifting in the morning over COVID year. We was lifting all the upperclassmen that play varsity in the morning, and we was lifting at 6 in the morning. And if you know anything about this Lower Richland area, we have some kids that live closer to something than they do to Lower Richland.
Mm-hmm.
And coach, we was getting 100% participation. We had one guy try it one time, and the other kids corrected that. They went out and started picking them up and getting them here on time because it was important to them, and they knew there was accountability factor to
it. Now your kids, they have bought into each other.
Yes, I think they have bought into each other. I always tell them if there's a problem and it gets back to me, then it's too far. That's going too far. That means there's no leaders on this team. So they do a good job of policing each other, not only on the field but in the building, in the classroom. They do a good job of getting on each other, throughout the day, and just trying to hold everybody accountable. There's like, hey man, you can't do this. Coach gonna be upset. Coach gonna be mad. Then we're gonna have to run or we got to do this, and they get on each other. Funny you asked that question. I had a teacher today came down and said, Coach, I don't know what you're doing with these boys, but the behavior of the football team has been, tremendous. It's been a change. He said, all I gotta do is say I'm gonna call Coach Taylor, and it's like everything changes, with them. And she said, well, it's never been like that before. And I of course, I just told her, hey, we just trying to do our best.
When you got there, were you allowed to? Well, you had to work with what you had, or were you able to bring staff with you?
A little bit of mixture of both. I was able to bring a couple with me. I kind of had a couple that I knew I needed to bring. I wanted to bring. I kind of probably wouldn't have took the job if I couldn't bring. A guy like Coach Cornell, Coach Hartness, Tim Hartness, a couple guys that I know are in my corner no matter what, and they'll call me out on my wrong if I'm wrong. I don't believe in a lot of yes men. I need people that's going to tell me, Coach, that's wrong. Coach, we need to let's look at doing this way. Because again, like you said before, I don't want to be the smartest man in the room, and I'm by far not the smartest man in the room. I have a tremendous staff. Coach Bryce Fisher, he's a young linebacker coach, and he's probably more eager and hungry and works harder than most people I know that have been in this game 30, 40 years. And is willing to learn. Coach Braden Walker is my offensive coordinator. He was already here. He was also our strength guy. These guys work tremendously hard. It's nothing I've ever asked them to do, and they've told me no. And I think that's just a testament to type of people they are. Testament to type of people they are. Not only do they care about care about the sport, but they care about these kids. So we don't have the big fancy budgets and all the big fancy things, so we have to do things a little bit differently here. So it's a lot of grunt work, and I have a staff that don't mind doing it. From top to bottom. From Coach Jamie Isaac, he runs our study hall sessions late at night. We just get out the practice field now. He'll be here to 7:30, 8 o'clock. With guys who need extra tutoring. Coach Fisher again, Coach Monty Montgomery. This guy's doing laundry we wash clothes every day for our kids. People don't look at that as part of coaching. And I know, when you and I'm not as old as you are. I know you probably done it more than I have, but that was coach. That's what you had to do. You had to paint the fields, you had to wash the clothes, get them on the bus, unload the bus. All those other things. And if you got the Friday night to coach, then that was probably a good deal. If you made it through Monday through Thursday, get the Friday, probably was like, woo! I get the coach, I get the call, I get the call coaching football. People oftentimes, forget about those things. And that's why I try to hire good people that understand those things, those core values.
Now, before we go further, and I don't want to get on the bad side here, mama, and I'm talking about your wife and your kids. Let's talk a little bit about that family, because without that strong family structure, you can't do what you do.
I could not do what I do. I could not do what I do.
Let's talk about that.
It would be virtually impossible without my wife Courtney. She holds everything down for our household. We have two boys. My youngest son lives with his mom. Jory, my young son Jory, lives with his mom. They just moved back to Columbia, so that, I'm happy about that. Getting to see him a little bit more. And then my oldest son Chase, of course, he's with us. And he's still over at Dutch Fork. But I couldn't do none of this, without her. It wouldn't even be possible. I don't even know what to start with the things she do. I don't even know where to start. All I can just say is thank you.
Well, you need to start because let me, number one, you're giving her all the flowers in the world. Number two, you got a bunch of young guys who listen to this thing thinking that it's all about X's and O's. And, and one of the things I always say, if the house ain't right, you ain't going to be right, boy.
You ain't going to be right.
And if you
that's something that Coach Tim Hartness told me. He's a veteran of the game of 40 years, and Coach Hartness has coached from everywhere, from college to pros to little league football, whatever football been there, he's coached it. And again, he coached me at Benedict too. One of the things he always says is, if you can't take care of home, you ain't take care of home. It ain't no sense in going nowhere else because everything else gonna crumble. You have to have your spouse that understands, the late hours, the getting up early, or, sometimes I'm running late to my kids' stuff. She got to do the pick up and drop off, because my schedule just won't fit into it. It's just, I tell all the young coaches, if you think you're gonna do this by yourself, you definitely in the wrong sport. This is a team sport, and it's a total team sport, home and here. Because if you think you do it by yourself, I'm here to tell you, you will crumble real quick. It'll humble you real quick trying to do this by yourself.
When you decided to come to Dutch Fork, I mean not Dutch Fork, but to Lower Richland, how much conversation did you two have about? I'm talking about you and your wife. Yeah.
Truthfully and honestly, it was good conversation, but it was never. I don't know about that. I don't think you should do that. I wanted to take another job, and she was kind of like, "Nah, I don't know about that one."
Mm-hmm.
She has a good, I guess, radar or meter, gauge or whatever you want to call it, on kind of what direction I need to go in. When it comes to jobs, and I was going to interview. I interviewed another job and was probably heartbroken when I didn't get it. And I was just like, well, being at Dutch Fork ain't really the baddest place in the world to be. I mean, we gonna win again, so I can stay here one more year. We gonna win again, and it's just like I got that phone call out the blue. I kind of was like, this lady called me, want me to interview at Lower Richland.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "What interview? What you like?
What's wrong with you, dude?"
I was like, I don't know, man. I don't feel like hearing no more. She's like, they called you. It's like they called you. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know if I want to hear another no. I felt like I kind of had a job in the bag and it didn't go my way. And that taught me a valuable lesson, by the way, too. So when I told her about this, she was all for it. She's like, the other job we would have had to move, and she was like, she really didn't want to move, so she was like, we won't have to move. I'm down for it then. So she was 100% on board, and she still is. You lost your sound, Coach. I think you muted.
How did I do that?
There you go. There you go.
All right. Okay.
You muted yourself.
Maybe it's time for me to be quiet. How's the your relationship with your administration?
Oh, administration. My administration is perfect. I mean, I have a lot of other friends who are head coaches, have been head coaches, and it's kind of like they always getting around, and it's kind of like that. My administration won't do this. I can't get this. My AD this. My principal that. And I'm kind of just sitting there like, I don't have those problems. And that's why I say this. If I was going to be blessed with a first head coaching job, I'm glad it was this one at this time, because my principal, Dr. Erica Hersey, is phenomenal. My athletic director, Liz Steele, is just amazing. There's nothing I've ever asked those two women for, and they've just flat out told me no.
Mm-hmm.
If they had to tell me no, it's just because they just really didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
There was just really no way to get it. I went in there and asked for a couple things, and she was just like, "We'll figure it out. All right, we get it."
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have those problems. I mean, we're getting a weightlifting class next year is one of the things I asked for. Getting done this year, coming into year 3. I wanted to have a weightlifting class set by year 3. We're gonna have a B team for the first time in several years. I don't have those administration problems. The teachers here are phenomenal. They go all out. They do all they can for the kids. The faculty and staff here has been great. They've been supporting and buying into the things that we're trying to teach these kids. They're buying into the accountability piece of trying to hold the kids accountable in the classroom. Ask teachers just, if there's a problem with a football kid, to call me first, and they call me first. They give me a chance to, handle it, before it gets, to the next level. And my principal allows me to do that. Of course, I can't do anything without her blessing. It's all everything here at Lord Richland is centered around those kids, or these kids. So my administration is phenomenal. I can't speak for nobody else, but I've been blessed.
Mm-hmm. You said something a minute ago. When you came there with a plan. Because I heard it in your thing, third year, you want to have this done.
Mm-hmm.
What was that plan, and how long did you give yourself to do it, if you don't mind sharing it with us?
Yeah. I kind of always try to put things in kind of a plan kind of deal. I'm a very impatient person at times. So of course I wanted to win right away, right now. Going 2-5 the first year, I went to the AD and was like, "I'm sorry. Don't fire me. Just please give me a chance." We lost. I mean, we were in every. Nobody just lying down and beat us. We were in every game. We lost to Fairfield. We ended up losing by 10, but we were up by 10 going into the second half, and had 2 turnovers coming out the gate. We went to double overtime with Chester on a short week. We just couldn't put things together, and that was truly, and I'm not making excuses, but that goes back to not having that preseason stuff with COVID and all that kind of deal. We was up by 25 on Chapin in our first game and lost that game. It was just those understanding how to finish kind of deals. But I came in with a vision and a plan. I'm in year 3. Year 1, I wanted to just set a foundation. I believe that you can't build a house without a foundation. So I wanted to come in and set a foundation with the program. Set the expectation. We talk about winning. We talk about winning. We talk about playing the first weekend in December. That's an active conversation here. We don't shy away from that conversation. I believe kids need to set goals high. I'm not one of these people to tell you, "Oh, just set that bar right here," and it's okay. It's okay. I don't believe in that. We actively talk about playing the first weekend in December. Mm-hmm. We expect to be playing the first weekend in December. If we don't get there, then we know we got to go back to the drawing board. We got more work to do. Mm-hmm. But that was my goal year 1. I wanted to be playing the first week in December. I kind of got used to being there. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to get back there. But year 1 we wanted to set that foundation. Year 2 we wanted to improve on wherever we was year 1, no matter if it was 5, 10-0 or 8-0, whatever. However we played, we wanted to improve on that. We finished 2-5 that first year, and we was able to turn around and make it 8-2 this year. We wanted to improve in the classroom. When I got here, the GPA was team GPA was like 2.3, 2.4, something like that, and that may be a little high. That first year, we got it up to a 3.0 on the football team. So we had goals and plans, that we wanted to reach. Year 3 coming in, we wanted to make sure we had a weightlifting class, a viable weightlifting class where we can get some work done, with our players. We wanted to again keep building on that foundation. Like I told the kids the other day. Now Now we're starting to put the walls up on the house. We laid the foundation the first couple of years. Now we're starting to put some walls up, so we can kind of dry it in a little bit and protect the house. So now we're putting the walls up on the house. We like last year we won the region. This year I told them anything short of that for me, I'm not happy. Because y'all have set that goal. Our region changes are going to be a little tougher this year. With BC and Gilbert and OW and Dreer and Swansea. So I told them that there's no drop off. What we're not going to do is drop off. We want to take that GPA. Want to get those grades up. Now we're shooting for a 3.2 is what I told them. Just one. Just a little bit better than what we was. We talk about setting this program up for long-term success. And those are the plans that we had. And we're sticking to it. Of course, you're gonna have to tweak it here and there. That's one thing I learned through COVID. Sometimes the best plan might need to ball that paper up and start over again because something ain't in the cards. We get that plan done that way.
How did you initially get your staff to buy into your vision?
I think for one, I hired like-minded people. I think that was the biggest key. I hired people who wanted to win. I hired people that was just as hungry or hungrier than me. I hired people that wanted to challenge, me. I had people to push me to make me get better. So we all pushed each other to get better. One thing I can say about this staff is, they get out and we clinic. We every Tuesday we self-clinic ourselves now in the spring on our positions. So I think that was the first buy-in. I had a couple people who played here or went here. So I had some community tie buy-in kind of with it. But I think the biggest piece of that whole thing is just hiring like-minded people that have, can see your goal and see your vision and think like you a little bit and want those same things. I think sometimes as coaches, we try to hire, how can I say it the right way? We try to hire good coaches, but we want to hire good people, if that makes sense. We'll hire a great coach, but he might not be a good person. I think all my people on my staff are good people. They're people I enjoy. I get a kick out of coming in here because there's always going to be something. Somebody's going to say something crazy. And sometimes our meetings, we end up longer than what we should be because we're sitting there laughing at each other. Something I might have said to somebody on the field or somebody else might have said it on the field or whatever. And it gets totally off track. And we just enjoy being around each other. And I think that's key. Like I say, hiring people, like-minded people, and people that enjoy being around each other.
It seems, and I've always said this, it seems like you're having a lot of fun, not only with your staff, but with your kids also.
I am. Man, they keep me on my toes.
Uh-huh.
They keep me on my toes. I don't know if you know this week, but over Easter we lost one of ours. And so we're just getting back together again here the last couple of weeks. And, it's like, they're grieving and hurting, but it's like they still haven't lost that kid in them, And I think that's the best part about them, man. They kind of keep me young and keep me on my toes. We go back and forth. We're going to crack some jokes on each other, and have a good time. But they know this. We're going to work. I'm all, hey, if you can multitask, then we'll multitask. But if we can't, then we can't joke. We can't laugh. We can't have no good time. I guess I'm a little old school, a little new school mixed together. I don't believe in all the, the raw. I'm not a raw type of person. So that's always been hard for me. I'm office lineman by heart, like just by trade. I'm not a raw. I'm like, let's get this job done. Let's get on to the next thing type of person. And that's one thing I'm learning is how to, I guess, get that piece in there. Let the kids see you as a human, as a person. That's one of the things I always thought I've been good at it as coaches. Building a relationship with my kids, and that's kind of where we're at now. I think all the kids here, we got a good relationship.
I went to Bishop College in Dallas, Texas, which is no longer open. No, they closed back in the 80s. And excuse me, I always go back to those experiences because we always say that Bishop College made a lot of men and women. What was your experience like at Benedict? How did Benedict forge you or made you into what you are right now?
Um, Without Benedict College giving me a chance, I'm not sitting here. I don't know what I would be doing. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I took the long route. I went in when I was 22. Kind of was just floating around, working odd and end jobs, bouncing in clubs, and working McDonald's. Taco Bell here. Just ready to have a direction of what I really wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
In my life, and I got a chance to go to Benedict College back in 2002. It saved me. It gave me great foundation. Let me know that I can be an academic person. I wasn't always the best student. It let me know I can be a student. It let me know that I can do the work if I just apply it myself. One thing I would always tell anybody about Benedict is if you don't have a family or you're missing that family feel, then you need to go to Benedict because you're gonna get that down home family feel. You're gonna get one of the professors that's gonna be like that auntie and Terry, keep it real with you.
Mm-hmm.
I had professors like Dr. Shabazz, Miss Shabazz, who passed away here, and Dr. Gunn and Miss Miller. In that rec department at that time, Miss Addison Harrell. These people were phenomenal. Mr. Davis. These people like cared about not only me as an academic person, but as a person. It shaped me. I got friendships and that last me a lifetime. Two of my best friends in this world, was at Benedict College. I was able to pledge my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi. I had a great college experience once I got there. I did my best to try not to go though. I did my best.
You worked on that, huh?
I thought I was going to master that course, and Coach Felder would not let me fail. I say that.
Mm-hmm.
He can't pick me up from my house. It was like, come on, boy. You going. He took me around hand by hand, took me to place by place. He had to give me a Social Security card. Just things he didn't have to do. But he did that because he saw something in me. And, and riding around, I can remember that conversation in that car that day, just like it was yesterday. He looked at me and one of my partners and was like, you can get this college degree and you can work, or you can get this, or you cannot get this college degree and really work. And I was like, oh, well, what you mean by that? He's like, you get a degree, you can be the one in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could be the one, if you don't get this, you be the one somebody always telling what to do all the time. He said, I don't know about you, but I like to be telling other people what to do sometimes. So, I just thank him for that. I thank Coach John Hemsey for that. He came in after Coach Felder. Me and him had some good candid conversations sometimes. When I thought I was right on some things, and he had to quickly show me, no, you're not right.
Mm-hmm.
This is my program. Do it my way. And I just think everybody been in college. If I can ever, I can't put a price tag on it. I can't tell you. It was, that education was just phenomenal. And I look at it now, it's just like, wow. I look at that new stadium they got, and the way things are going over there now, Coach Barry, what they're doing. The new president, Dr. Hartness. I'm just like, wow, man, this college, it's really grown.
Mm-hmm.
It's really grown. But it saved my life.
Yeah, did you know Miss Mary Davis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a classmate of mine from high school.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
She another one. She was another one that would just tell you how it is.
Yeah.
She's gonna tell you how it is. She's gonna lay it out there, but at the end of the day, she's gonna put her arm around you and tell you why she did it.
Mm-hmm. They were good people, man, and we got all these kids going, want to go D1 and all that stuff, man. I tell you, parents, you need to listen. You need to get that HBCU experience.
It is an experience. That is the right word. It is an experience.
Yeah. You grow up in that experience because
you ain't got no choice, man.
Yeah,
you ain't got no choice.
Yeah, and people are going
you got no choice. You either grow up or get ate up.
Yeah. Oh man, love the way you put that. Now, man, I'm having a blast with this one right here. How do you get your coaches to educate themselves as far
Uh,
as the game? What do y'all do as far as growth?
okay. Well, one of the first things I did when I one of the first I talk about when I hire or interview people is I talk about professional development. I'm a big professional development guy because I don't believe I have all the answers. I don't believe another coach has all the answers. And one thing I've learned about football is it's all about stealing this from this person, this from that person, and putting your own flavor on it. Making it your own. Um, you know, this staff here is, coach. I mean, I know it's like a broken record, but like this staff has just been phenomenal. Like I don't have to beg them to go clinic. They got out. We bought the little glazier package thing, and I was like, guys, I said, I would like to do it. I said, but I don't have it in my budget. The guy said, Coach, we all put money in and pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
We all chipped it out of their own pocket. Some of these guys are volunteer guys. A good bit of them are volunteer guys. And they volunteer money out of their pocket, took money out of their pocket to pay so we can get the glazier, we can watch the videos together, and we can go to all the glazier clinics together. And we've been doing that in the off season. We've just, I mean, they clinic on their own. They get out and they just get in the car and they just go. Sometimes they don't even tell me they go. I'm like, y'all go. I wanted to go too. Y'all ain't tell me nothing. And it's just like they do a good job. Like I say now in this time of year, we're doing what we call self clinicking. So for example, if you were coaching running backs, you would create your manual and teach the staff as if I knew nothing about running backs ever in my life. Mm-hmm. So if something ever happened to you and I had to jump in and coach running backs, I should be able to take your manual and read and say, okay, Coach Johnson teaches these fundamentals to our backs. These are his five core things he want our backs to know. So I should be able to take those things and coach backs, just run it off just on what you giving. And we've been doing that. We're gonna do it every day on Tuesdays until the end of spring, and we'll go offense, defense. And they came up with that idea. That wasn't the idea I had. That was the idea another staff member had, was to do that. I mean, we got, like I said, we got 19 guys on staff right now, and I think I got 19 hungry coaches that want to get better. I think we got a good mix of young and old coaches, that want to get better. And I think the best thing about it is the older coaches don't try to, I guess, influence the younger guys to doing it their way. They do a good job of letting the young guy maybe make a mistake, but then going back behind and say, hey, man, you might want to look at this way. Mm-hmm. I've been on staffs where the older guys are just like, no, we did it this way. This is the way we always going to do it. Mm-hmm. This is the way it got to be done. Well, this is 2022. What you did in 1940 might not be the same. It's some different kids out here now.
Yeah.
Like we talked about before we got started here. This is a different generation of kids. These kids don't, they don't have to play football to get out no more. When you and I probably were coming up, it was probably athletics or pretty much nothing else, to get out. That's kind of all we knew was, athletics. Of course we went on and got blessed with education, but athletics was kind of our number one ticket to get out. These kids don't have those. They don't have to do that no more. Mm-hmm. When you look at kids in Richland 1, they can leave Richland 1 with just about any trade or skill they could ever desire, all the way down from barbering to truck driver to truck fixing, the building a whole new truck. So, it don't have to be that way no more. And I think I got a good mix of young and old coaches that get along well, and the young guys respect the old guys because they're veterans in it. And the older guys respect the young guys because they see themselves in them younger guys. Mm-hmm. We like to say we met last night. We did our self-clinic last night. And Coach Hartness, who's the older guy on our staff right now, told the young guys, he was like, because we cliniced on Huddle last night. Coach Cornell did a thing on Huddle teaching everybody how to use Huddle the right way. Because I didn't know Huddle could do all that type of stuff. I just knew the basics. Mm-hmm. And that thing is pretty in-depth too, Coach. That thing's pretty in-depth.
It
But
is.
that thing is in depth, man. I learned all kind of stuff. But he clicked on huddle last night before we left out. Coach Hartness was like, "Hey, you young guys, you know, Coach always tell y'all 3 years is kind of the max he wants you with him. You know, because I told him, 3 years, after 3 years, you need to be looking for something else.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to keep you here forever, but that'll be selfish on my part to try to hold you back." He told me last night, said, y'all coach said 3 years. At least some of y'all coming up on year 3, learning this huddle stuff can get you an analyst job at the next level. He said, if you go and you look on Football Scoop and look at this and that, everybody says analyst, analyst, analyst. He said, looking for these analysts. He said, that's all this is right here. So, he's encouraging the younger guys to get out and, just take that leap of faith, I guess you say.
Well, that's great. You got that. That culture where guys are not attacking each other and guys are not thinking that they're the smartest thing. Somehow you got the culture where everybody is hungry, and I'm willing to bet that comes from the top. Would you agree?
Yeah. I like to think that, Coach. I like to think that I value my staff because I was assistant for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand being in that position. That's kind of one of the things I always wanted to do if I did get a head coaching job was to understand that position. Sometimes as an assistant, head coach always tell you everything that's going on, and sometimes I used to feel like I'm in the blind because I don't know. Something. I never was in the building as an assistant. I just got certified about 3 or 4 years ago. So I never was in the building, so I would come to practice and not know what happened in the building. Somebody else may know, but they didn't tell me. Why this kid having a bad day or something like that. So I try to keep the guys in the loop as much as possible on things. I try to empower them to make decisions. One of my favorite sayings is if I got to tell you how to coach it, then why did I hire you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a micromanager. Now, if I have to be a micromanager, then that's fine. I mean, I can do that, but I prefer you to do your job. And do your job well. That's what we preach to the kids. Do your job, but do your job well. And that's the same mandate that we take with the coaches. That's what we expect. That's our expectation of coaches. And I think this staff is good enough now. The core of this staff has been together just about all 3 years. We got a couple of changes here and there, a couple of additions, and a couple of guys, moved for family reasons or whatever. But the core of this staff has been together for 3 years. And I think that's key. It's keeping the guys together. So I kind of know what some of them are thinking before they're thinking. They know what I'm thinking before I'm thinking it. And kind of our big deal is, if you see something need to be done, just do it. Like I shouldn't have to tell you what to do. Like you're the grown man.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that crazy community you got down there. How did you get them tamed, or are they tame?
Well, Coach, I mean, first off, the community's been great to me. I again,
and I'm only teasing when I say.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I can't say nothing bad about this Lower Richland community. Very prideful, very prideful. They love their Lord. They love their. Let me make sure I say this right. Their diamond football.
Mm-hmm.
The old school people don't want to hear nothing about no diamond hornet. They diamonds. They don't want to hear nothing about no diamond hornet. They diamonds. I went to the gas station one day across the street. And I was pumping gas. I have a Lower Richland shirt on. I guess he saw the dude recognized from the news or whatever. And he was like, "Hey, you the head football coach over there?" I said, "Yes, sir." I said, "I coach over at Lower Richland." "Yes, sir." And he said, "You take care of them diamonds." I said, "What you mean a diamond? We diamond hornets." He's no, man, no. that 4 minutes me to pump gas turned into an hour. Tell me why they ain't diamond hornets. But it's a good community, Coach. I think they're buying into the program even more. We started a nutrition room for the kids to get snacks and stuff during the day. A lot of kids don't eat the lunch at school, and they come to practice. They hungry or whatever. So they donated. This community donated. Coach, when I say donated food, Coach, you would have thought we was in Piggly Wiggly somewhere. Much stuff been in there. Parents bought microwaves. They bought chocolate milk. We trying to give them chocolate milk after practice. Stuff like that. I don't really believe in the protein for this age group, so we do a lot of chocolate milk And if I put a text out there and say, hey, we need this, because within 24 hours, it's that plus. We played Clinton in the second round of the playoffs. My AD put out that Clinton had sold more tickets than us. Look back, because you would have thought we was in the Super Bowl. It was wall to wall, and they were loud and proud, and it makes these kids proud to know where they come from. They come from a proud community. I had a couple college coaches in here today, and he said, "Doc, I didn't know y'all had 4 Super Bowl footballs up here. You got people who play the Super Bowl." I said, "Yeah, we played the multiple Super Bowl." I said, "That ain't all of them." I said, "That's just 4 of them." And he was shocked to know that this school, down here in this country, had that kind of tradition. I tell anybody, Lord Richland, to me, it was kind of always my like I told him in my interview, it was kind of my hidden gem of jobs that I would be interested in if I ever got the opportunity. Because for one, I'm kind of the only show in town down here. The next closest thing is Sumter, and they can't go there unless they move. We kind of you go 5 minutes to the left, you're in the country. 5 minutes to the right, you're in the city. We kind of got the best of both worlds. And again, this community is just phenomenal. I mean, there's nothing I've asked for that I hadn't gotten.
Do you have an issue with kids playing multiple sports, or you?
I encourage it. I encourage them playing multiple sports. My only hang up is if you're gonna play those multiple sports, you still got to lift. You still got to get your lifts in. Other than that, you can play as many sports as you want to. I encourage you to play every single thing you can play. You are a kid. You are a high school kid. Don't be a specialist to nothing yet. Because your body, first of all, your body's still developing. You may play baseball. It gives you another group of muscles you're working. You might go, we're trying to get a lacrosse team. You might go join that. That might give you another skill you ain't never know you had. I had about 8 to 9 kids on the soccer team this year. Most of our soccer teams football players. And, most of them went out just to go help the soccer coach out because they was like, he needed some bodies. And coach, they fell in love with it. They fell in love with it. It was like, man, this is really a good sport. And I was like, I told y'all you just try something new. You never know what you know. As a matter of fact, their leading goal scorer was a football player. So these I encourage it wholeheartedly. And people who don't encourage that and try to bogart these kids, just shame on you. Shame on you.
I've said it for years. You need to let they let these guys get out there and do as much as they can, as long as the grades hold up.
As long as the grades holding up, that's it.
And
that's it. As long as the grades hold up, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, and I hope we swing back. We talk about swinging the pendulum, swinging back here. It's eventually going to swing back because college tuitions are going up every year. And the last time I checked, free is free.
Free is free.
And you don't care how to get that degree, as long as you don't have to pay it out.
As long as you ain't got to pay for it. That's why I was telling somebody that today. I said, I don't care where you go.
Yeah,
it don't matter to me where you go. I said, my job is to try to get you the best situation where it's free. That's what I look at a recruit. I gain nothing off of this recruit. I don't make no money off of no recruiting agency or no school gives me money or kickbacks or nothing. My job is to make sure you free, that you can graduate with a zero balance.
And a lot of people don't understand that. They want to hang in there with what they love, but most of the time, what you love is not going to give you that free.
That's right.
And I just hate kids who just waste that talent. And
they are so some of these kids are so athletic. They like to say, kids that play soccer, they didn't know they could play until they went out there and played.
Right. And you need everybody on board thinking that. And I know that staff over there is real good.
And we are 3A school in enrollment numbers, but we're not 3A school athletic wise.
Yeah.
We don't have the big 3A numbers athletic wise. So we need kids playing multiple sports.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we're coming up to that magic moment here, but I hate to let you go, but I always ask these 2 questions, so you're gonna have to bear with me, okay? The last two questions. If you were lucky enough to spend an hour talking to anybody in the world and not a coach, can't be a coach, who would that person be?
Mm. Lucky enough to spend 1 hour just talking to somebody. Ooh, coach, ooh, can't be a coach.
Can't be a coach.
Coach, I probably would say somebody like Dr. King because
Tell me
I just
why.
want I would like to know his mind frame. Like, but it would be two people really because
Go ahead, you guys go ahead. I'll give you two.
it would be Dr. King because I want to know what like his mind frame and being that peaceful in that time. Like, what kept you from just not bursting out at people? Like, what kept you? Like, how'd you stay so calm? Like, in the midst of all that mess and disrespect and the dogs and the water hoses and the death threats. Like what kept you that calm? Like what? How'd you do that? What was your mind frame? And then my second one would be Malcolm X. Like, why were you so angry at it? like how could you not control that? I think I would be more that way. Like how did you not control that? Like what made you just be like bumping? I'm gonna go this approach with it. You know, I see Dr. King doing the nonviolent approach. I'm going with the violent approach. Mm-hmm. So to me, like I say, it probably be those two because I would want to know their thinking in that.
Two good choices, right? It's opposite poles,
total opposites.
Later on in life, they became to respect each other a bunch. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how that circle,
yeah,
comes
That's
around.
Crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. Now, you got an hour to spend with a coach. Who would that coach be?
I've been wanting to meet Sylvester Croom for a long time.
Alabama.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I saw his 30 for 30. I've been wanting to meet him for a long time, and him and Coach Hartness GA together at Alabama. So he's been trying to get me hooked up with him, and I just want to know, first off, Bear Bryant, like, how did you make it there? Like, how did you keep it so calm in the midst of all that?
Let me say this. For those of you who don't know who Sylvester Croom is, he was the first black head coach, I believe, in the Southeast Conference. Mm-hmm. At where's that? Mississippi State. Yeah. So we're not talking about somebody who's a booty butt and everything. Okay.
No.
He was the first African American head coach in the SEC. Now go ahead.
He took over. He took over a team that was like bottoms. Mm-hmm. Like they had like 7 starters get kicked off the team. For a BB gun incident or something on campus. He had several death threats. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. They Mississippi State's budget is not the same budget as Alabama operates with in SEC. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. But I saw his 30 for 30 on ESPN, and ever since then I've just been like, he's pretty interesting, man. Dad was a Baptist preacher, and I was just like, he come from good style. Like, what made him pick Alabama? Like all that. Like, why would you go endure that? What made your love for Bear Bryant like that? Knowing how he was as a person, knowing he really didn't want you but he wants you just because you were black, and he saw that he needed black people to win. Like, what made you want to go there and be that? So I would say Sylvester Croom.
Okay. Well, those are two good things like that, and I like to ask those questions because you just never know how people are thinking. You can't be one dimensional in this business, and a lot of guys think it's all about being X's and O's and everything. Sometimes your kids are going to ask you about some things, and you got to have some answers. You know, they come up with some good questions sometimes.
With some real good questions. I think
Yeah.
that's been one of the biggest things for me as a head coach too. Everybody look at me for the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody look at me. I think back to the first scrimmage. It was weird. Was good with his scrimmage. G Wright. Now he was at Timberland. He was at Timberland then, and they came up here. We got ready to scrimmage that evening, and it was coming out the locker room. I think we had a light in the delay or something. We came out the locker room for some reason. Everybody just took a knee right in front of me. And I'm looking around like, what y'all stop right here for? Like, what y'all want me to say? Like, y'all want me to say something? Everybody took their helmet off, and everybody's eyes was just glued on me. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I am the coach. I'm supposed to say
something. Oh man,
that was my woosah moment. Like,
yeah,
this thing real.
Yeah.
Well, but that shocked me.
Well, Marlin, I really enjoyed this hour, man. I
appreciate it, cause I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it myself.
And you know, I learn so much every week. You know, every time I do this, you know, you just sit back and you learn, and you know, like I said, I'm writing notes as you talk and everything. Any last words from you before we?
Coach, I just want to say, you know, to you and all the other African American coaches, you know, in this state that came before me, I appreciate it. I appreciate you, you know, doing what you had to do for me to do what I have to do now. You know, I definitely couldn't be sitting in this seat without guys like you, Tommy Brown, and you know, Daryl Pages. You know, your Coach Thompson's down there at Carver's Bay. You know, I couldn't be sitting in this seat, you know, without guys like you. And that, you know, doing what you had to do. I can only imagine what you guys had to go through coming up. You know, we're starting back with the Minority Coaches Association again. We just had our first meeting clinic last 2 or 3 Saturdays ago now, I think it was. We had 40 guys. We hosted here at Lower Richland, and we had 40 coaches here, and college coaches came and spoke, and it was real good. You know, it was good to see, you know, like-minded brothers thinking alike, looking to try to sharpen that iron. You know, I'll never forget this moment. I was at a Glacier, and there was a couple other coaches, Caucasian coaches from another state, and the guy said, you know, me and my friends, we get together every such and such in my garage, and we have garage clinics. And another black coach was like, well, you know, I'm from your area. Can I come? And he told that coach no. And I was like, dang, that's dirty. I like, the man just trying to, you know, it wasn't my conversation dipping, but I was just like, that's dirty. Like, and I was like, these people out here really think like that.
It's real.
Yeah, you know, I never really. I seen racism, I experienced a little bit, but I never really experienced it. You know, in my lifetime. You know, like you guys had to, and just to hear him say it, I was like, that's pretty jacked up, man. That man just want to learn like everybody else. So to have that platform, that Coach Pages and Coach Hill trying to start back up now. It's good, and then, you know, this platform here that you're doing, Coach, this is phenomenal thing that you're doing, and you know, I just thank you guys for all you did for guys like me in this state, and just closing out. You know, we're gonna host a 7-on-7 tournament. Let me get myself selfless plug in here. We're gonna host a 7-on-7 tournament here June 30th. June 30th here. We got 20 teams coming. If anybody want to come out, feel free. We'll be right here at Lower Richland. We'll start at about 9:00.
All righty. Well, we got to get ready for our next. I told you I was doing a double tonight.
Yeah, you got double duty tonight.
Yeah, I got double duty. So we got Greg, the guy you talked about a few minutes ago. He's coming on next. So we got to flip on over and get him in. But I really appreciate it, man.
No, Coach, I appreciate you.
No, from my heart, you know, and you're going to continue to do great things, and just keep it going, man.
I appreciate it.
It's going to be fine. Okay, man.
I appreciate it. Go Diamonds.
Okay.
They'll kill me if I don't say that, Coach.
I know it. Your show.
I appreciate it. You have a good night.
Okay, you too, man. All right, Coach. That was Marlin Taylor from Lower Richland High School. Like I said, guys, these are diamonds in the rough that we never hear about a lot about, and just 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 happy to be able to do this for them and be able to host a platform for them. All right, so you know what I do. I got to get ready for another one here in a few minutes, but you know what I say every week. You tell somebody you love them and give them a hug. And until next week, our guest will be Marion Brown from Baptist Hill and Shaq Hilton from Eau Claire High School. Until then, if you don't join us next, well, have a good night.